What's up, everybody? Of course, this is Mel and this is Vera. We're now officially married, and we thought this would be a good opportunity to share with you guys how we met and a little bit of our journey. So we got about a couple questions. I don't know how many. You ready?
I'm ready. We met on a dating app called
Bumble.
So it's an app where you both have to swipe on each other. So he swipes on me, which I'm guessing you swiped first. You did.
I don't know. When I swiped, you were there. So I don't know.
No.
Nah, I swiped first.
You swiped first. And then when I got it, then I swiped on it. So then I had to be the first to send a message, because with the app, the way it works, the girl has to actually send a message first. So then I sent the message, and that was it. And then we started talking.
History. I don't recommend Bumble. I don't know about you.
Why?
'Cause that was my last day on there. And I said, I'm going to give her one last girl one last chance. But it worked. But I don't recommend online dating. It was a horrible experience for me.
I love online dating. I recommend online dating. Think about it. You can sit on your couch and talk to like 40 people.
That's the problem. You need to focus on one person. And you can't focus on one person. We got all them other people, all them other options. It's too much. That's why women ain't focused. Every woman you meet, I'm just seeing what's out here.
There's a lot I could say right now, but I feel like this video is turning into something else. So. But yeah, we met on Bumble. It was in late December, right after Christmas, I want to say. And then within like a few days later, it was New Year's Eve. And I was trying to just see what he was doing for New Year's Eve. We hadn't even talked on the phone.
You gotta let it go.
Everything was all on the app. No, we had talked on text message. So we texted a few times, getting to know each other, and I asked him what he was doing for New Year's Eve, and he completely lied. He told me that he was playing at this church far, far away. I was like, oh, I would love to watch.
In Canada.
Send me the link. And he was like, oh, I'll send you the link so you can watch me play. Never sent me the link. Didn't hear from him from like 11 p.m. on New Year's Eve till the next morning. So he completely ghosted me overnight.
Because you can't let women know what you're doing until you know she the one. That's all it is. You got to keep them guessing. But everybody, my side of the family, know where I was. We was at the family house for New Year's.
But you could have just told me that rather than just disappearing on me.
Y'all in my business already. I just met you. Question number 2.
Miracle that we survived this long. Miracle.
It's a miracle.
Ooh, okay. So our first date, our first date was supposed to be at Ellen's, which is starting to be my new favorite restaurant. Yeah. But we were supposed to go to Ellen's, and over like a 1 week period, we kept trying to like get our schedules to like coordinate and everything, and it never worked out because Ellen's closes at like 7, 8, really early time. Yep. And I have work, he has all his jobs, so we just couldn't meet. So then finally I said, why don't you come over to my apartment, because my apartment building has a like theater room. And so I ordered some wings and got some drinks, and we met in my apartment building, not the actual apartment, just the building. He never came into the apartment. And then we had wings and watched a movie
most boring movie I've ever seen in my life. I'm talking about Liam Neeson. I hipped you on game to Liam Neeson. I've been trying to tell people for years.
No, you just ruined him. That's what you did.
He whispered his song, his movies. That's
he doesn't whisper, but the very first thing this man said when the movie came on was, he whispers. So then I could never watch the rest of the movie because I kept thinking,
that's right,
he's whispering.
I rescued you.
No, you didn't. Taken is the best movie ever made. Taken 1, Taken 2, Been Taken, Been Took.
Well, he took
all of them.
He was taking stuff, taking y'all money for robbing y'all from them boring movies.
Ruined for life. I can never watch Liam Neeson anymore. So yeah, that was the first date. Very memorable experience.
Most definitely.
First impression of you. So 2 impressions. The first one that I would say is my first impression was on the Bumble app, because for some reason on the app, he looked like a pastor.
No, I didn't.
You did. Every picture you had one in the drum cage, so it was clear that you were in a church. I don't even remember what the other pictures were, but every picture.
I look like a thug.
No, you didn't.
A gangster.
No, you look like a pastor. Every single picture, like every time I was like flipping through the pictures, he looked like a pastor. And in the profile, you never said anything about being in church, but you just give off this like pastory vibe. And then the first impression when I met you in person was definitely not a pastor at all. Those are my impressions.
Well, my first impression, I just thought you, on your profile, you was extremely positive, and that's what I look for in anyone. Then, of course, when we start communicating, that shined through tremendously. how positive you are, you know. But then I was looking for, you know, from my previous relationships and things, going forward, if I was gonna be with someone, commit to someone, I want someone that knows the balance of aggressiveness over assertiveness. So you weren't aggressive, as a lot of women on there was, but you were definitely assertive. You let me know up front what you wanted and your interest in me. I didn't have to go guessing.
I did. I literally was like, I want you. I want to marry you. Like, very beginning, even before we met in person. Because I remember we were texting all the time, and I was like, I want you. I need you. Ooh la la, everything. Yes, I really was.
But, you know, of course, these meeting person, see this amazing beauty, you know, it just blew my mind, you know. But that first date definitely impressed me as well. They let me know that you know, you find women that, no shop, ladies, I'm just being real. You find women who just, all they thinking about taking, like your favorite movie, taking. Just want to take everything from a man, you know. And of course, I would have paid for Ellen's. I would have, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I would have paid for our first date.
I paid for everything on the first date.
I wasn't expecting that. I was expecting
everything.
Get there, then we buy the stuff. You had already had it laid out.
The drinks, I created the location, I brought the paper plates, everything. I paid for the first date. So I would not recommend that, first of all, unless you know. Like, I feel like by our first date, I knew we were going to be together. Right. Like, it was guaranteed. Yeah. I don't know how to explain why, because we hadn't even talked on the phone. When he got there to my building, the first time we ever talked on the phone was when he called me outside, like, hey, I'm here. How do I get into the garage? That was the first time we talked on the phone, was on the first date. But yet, I already knew we were going to be together forever. So I didn't mind paying. But yes, I paid for everything on the first date. And then I haven't paid for anything else after that.
That's right.
So.
But no, it was extremely refreshing to meet somebody who was intentional with showing me how much you was engaged in this situation and, you know, and with me overall.
Yeah, okay, weird habit about you. You have a lot of weird habits. Number one, and I'm going to say this one because we've been living together for a week prior to the actual wedding date. So I will say, the biggest weird habit is that you don't eat anything that I eat. So you don't eat tomatoes. I need you to eat tomatoes.
I ain't gonna have them.
Tomatoes, like, is the simplest, juiciest, sweetest
nastiest
fruit. Weird habit. Does not eat tomatoes, does not eat mushrooms, does not eat avocados, does not eat carrots, does not eat peppers unless you chop it really thin.
Real thin.
There's a lot of things that you just don't eat. You just don't.
Sounds like a healthy diet to me.
No, it sounds like a very boring diet. So the weirdest habit is he doesn't eat a lot of things that I eat. And also just the fact that we don't have any food in common or dishes in common.
I think we need 12 refrigerators.
We really do. We need like a big house filled with just like 2 separate rooms of storage to store food. But yeah, weirdest habit is definitely his food habits.
You ready for yours?
Let's do it. I don't have a weird habit.
Yours is definitely what you eat. Now, y'all raise your hand at the table if you eat bones. Now, remember I told y'all, she ain't do this on the first date with them wings, but ever since.
I didn't.
Ever since, anytime I eat wings, she
God.
ain't got to have no wings. All she waiting on is my bones.
I love chicken bones.
Anybody at the table eat bones. I'm just sorry. I never heard of that in my life. You made it seem like it's just a gourmet meal. Like everybody do this.
I don't really care about the meat. I care about the bones. So yes, chicken bones. But then remember that one time you went to a restaurant and I made you keep the bones from your food, from the barbecue, just so I can eat the bones?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sad.
Chicken bones. We argue about, okay, when we first met, as you guys already know, this guy, so you know what we argue about, politics, but specifically women in anything. So me being me, I like to argue even though I disagree with what I'm saying, but I would still argue just because I want to, you know, stand up for the people that can't speak for themselves. So he will always like come after anything women related that women do. And
don't put it like that. I'm not talking bad on women. I'm tired of women being celebrated for stuff they don't deserve. It don't make no sense. Like if you fought for equal rights all these years, we equal. That means everything.
We're not equal. Men and women are not equal. We don't want to be equal.
We can't have it both ways.
We want to be equal at certain things, like at work. But that's it. Other than that, we don't want to be
eat too. You want your
we
cake.
bake the cake, so yes, we would eat it too.
No, you don't bake it no more. We all baking it.
You don't bake cake. You're a man. You don't cook.
Yeah, because we got our dynamic tremendous. Most people out there, they live in chaos.
But why can't, if the woman wants to bake the cake, buy the cake, eat the cake, she should be able to do all of it. No, it shouldn't be choose one or the other.
She is able to. But I'm saying with equal opportunity come equal responsibility. You can't say, I want all the perks of being equal, but none of the backlash or the responsibility of the outcomes of being equal.
This is what we argue about. Literally. Things that don't even have to do with us at all. Literally does not apply to our relationship. But everything we argue about is about things going on out there that we just like to debate about. And I'm African. I could debate anything. So yes, we argue the most about women. But about like our actual lives, what do we argue about?
Nothing.
Honestly, nothing. Nothing at all. It's actually crazy. We've been together for almost a year, and I don't think we argue about anything about our own lives. Right. So
it's crazy how like we are different in a lot of ways, but more similar in a lot of ways. So even the things that are different, we've been able to conform and realize that, okay, I can take this little part of you, take a part of me, stuff like that.
We're very similar.
Yeah.
Very. You're just more vocal, and I'm vocal on certain things, but not on things that I should be vocal about. But yeah, we're very similar. But our standards, our morals, what we want in life, like all the important things about life, we're completely identical on.
I agree.
Yeah. What do you do in your free time? One word. Sports. Let me tell you this. When we were dating, he always told me, football, Cowboys. I heard about it. And if you guys know, I'm Nigerian, so I don't care about football. And when I think of football, I think of soccer. That's the only thing I watch. And then growing up with my brothers, they watch basketball. So
yes, in the face.
So
People gonna get that joke. People get that joke.
Yes, in his face, yes, in the face.
You might not get it.
So I watch basketball because I understand it. I don't know anything about football. So I have to say, his free time, now that we've lived together for a week, I've realized football runs everything. He literally would wake up after a game from the night before that he's been watching the game all night, and then the next morning he watches, what are they called? Shows about the game that he just watched
shows.
From morning till the end of that next day. So yes.
You gotta see what they're gonna say about your team. You gotta know, all that crap they've been talking all week. When we go out there to Cowboys, bust somebody in the face, you gotta see if they're gonna back they talk they said.
All day.
But they don't, because they hate the Cowboys,
Literally all day. That's football. That's all it is. So yes, that's what he would do in his free time, is football all day. And I'm pretty sure when we have kids, like in the middle of the delivery, if there's a football game going on, I already understand that you will watch it.
We're gonna conceive 9 months.
I don't think that's how that works.
We're gonna make sure
we're not doing that.
Football season.
Football. That's what I would say.
Yours?
Mine is easy.
Documentaries.
That's all I watch. Crime documentaries.
Crime documentary. I mean, I think I'm marrying a serial killer. You really know exactly how to kill somebody and get away with it.
Crime documentaries. I love that.
But the craziest thing about it, you don't halfway watch them. You doing something way across the other room, or way another. You ain't even focused on what you watching. You don't know what they talked about.
Okay, if I could add one more question to this, your biggest pet peeve of each other, I will tell you. And this is carried over from when I lived with my little sister. He has the same thing, and biggest pet peeve ever. When they watch something and you're talking to them, they pause what they're watching to have a conversation. I hate that. If I'm watching something, I can carry on a conversation as I'm watching it.
And I can't hear you.
You don't have to hear everything about the movie. You could just rewind it later, or...
Why am I watching it? Who's the common denominator in that? It's you.
Angel and Mel are the only two people that I know...
That you live with.
Okay, true. But maybe you guys are doing it wrong and I'm doing it right. But I hate that. Like, if I'm watching a movie, if I'm watching a show, and I want to say something real quick or have a whole other conversation, just let it play in the background. And if you really want to know what you missed, rewind it.
Wow.
But they, however, will pause it and then force you to have a conversation with the show paused.
I hope somebody got us a TV on our register.
We need 2 TVs, 2 refrigerators. Yes, absolutely.
Answer this question. You are my.
You are my everything. There's another song that goes like that. Everything.
I ain't never heard no song.
You are. Okay. Anyway, you are my everything. I will say I'm a very crazy psycho person to a point, I think. He's very good at like not letting my craziness like affect him or change his mood. So that really helps because then he's able to like pull me out of my craziness. So I would say he's everything in the sense of a protector, provider, a caretaker, a mind reader. You're really good at reading my mind. But everything, literally everything.
You're my sweet lady.
That's what he calls me. That's true. Yeah.
I mean, you by far the sweetest person I ever met. Like, you see the way you consume people's lives when they see you. They just have to talk to you. It's no, because it's like it starts with that beautiful smile, then it permeates throughout the conversation. It's like you actually taught me how to more engage with people just by watching you, how people engage with you. So you're the sweetest thing in the world. I can't imagine where I'll be without you.